And Postecoglou will become the new Tottenham Hotspur head coach on a 2-year deal with an option for a further season. Real Madrid legend Sergio Ramos has sent a message to Harry Kane: don't turn down Real Madrid. A clear-out is expected at Tottenham Hotspur Football Club this summer, and the search continues for a director of football. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all keeping well. This is another edition of Tottenham News, where I'll be going through all of the latest Spurs news, rumours and reports. If you're watching this on YouTube, please do hit the subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you're listening to this on an audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. Now let's start by talking about the news of the day. We got "Here we go" from Italian journalist and transfer expert Fabrizio Romano. He has stated that Ange Postecoglou will become new Tottenham Hotspur head coach. Here we go. The agreement on 2-year deal plus option for further season has been reached, as revealed in the morning. Green light on final clauses. Time to seal compensation documents with Celtic. Then it will be official. Tottenham Hotspur striker and England captain Harry Kane has been linked with a move to Real Madrid. Now, Real Madrid legend Sergio Ramos has sent a message to Harry Kane and said, "My advice to any player is don't turn down the opportunity to play for Real Madrid. It is a special club who know how to win. Harry Kane has an incredible physical presence. You can't score as many goals as he does in the Premier League and not be able to play the physical side of the game. But also he can play the technical side of the game as well, and I don't think he gets enough credit for that. Yes, he is a great goal scorer, but also he is a great football player as well." Former Premier League star, now TV pundit Micah Richards was asked the question, what does Postecoglou do if Harry Kane wants to leave Tottenham Hotspur? His reply was, he's got to let him go. He's got to get as much money as possible for him and allow Spurs to rebuild their team. Spurs are too reliant on Harry Kane. Every time you see who scores for them, it's Harry Kane. Kane, Kane. They need something more. Richards then went on to say sometimes it's frustrating to watch because he's so good at number 10, but you want him further forward at number 9 to cause more trouble, but he's having to do everything by himself at times. I think it's time now. I'm sure Spurs fans would say, you've given everything for us. Let's get some money for him. Let's cash in now and start again. Give the new manager some money to work with and let Harry Kane go and really show everyone how good he is in terms of going to that next level. The Daily Telegraph have just stated that the biggest issue facing new boss Ange Postecoglou will be whether or not Harry Kane will be a part of his squad, with Real Madrid joining Manchester United in the race to sign the striker. Daniel Levy is understood to remain determined to keep Harry Kane, who he values at over £100 million, but Real Madrid are willing to test that resolve after losing striker Benzema. The Telegraph have also reported that Tottenham are believed to be willing to let go as many as 7 first-team players, led by captain Hugo Lloris and Ivan Perisic, in what could be a big summer of change. The futures of Davinson Sanchez and Ryan Sessegnon are also in doubt, while Spurs have decided not to sign Arnaut Danjuma, who spent the second half of last season on loan at the club, while Clement Longley may be allowed to return to Barcelona. Bids, should they be forthcoming, could also be listened to for Ben Davies and Eric Dyer. The Sun newspaper have just reported that Ange Postecoglou agreed to become the new Spurs boss and promised to bring attacking football back to the club. The Australian is set to succeed Antonio Conte on a 2-year deal with an option of another 12 months once a £5 million compensation deal is struck with Celtic. The Sun newspaper have also reported it is understood that Postecoglou wants to bring his coaching team of John Kennedy, Gavin Strachan and Greg Wallace with him, and the Scottish champions are ready to negotiate compensation. That will clear the final hurdle between Postecoglou and the Spurs job. Former Tottenham Hotspur player and assistant manager to Glenn Hoddle when he managed Tottenham, John Gorham has come out and said, can Ange Postecoglou replicate the style of play at Celtic when he goes to Spurs? Definitely. That's what the fans want. I would think it's exactly how the fans at Tottenham want to see their team play. They're an attacking team. The Evening Standard have stated that Tottenham are expected to complete the appointment of Ange Postecoglou as their new head coach this week, as talks with both the manager and Celtic continued today. Postecoglou last week emerged as the front runner to permanently succeed Antonio Conte, but as reported by the Evening Standard, Spurs wanted to wait until after Saturday's Scottish Cup final before escalating their interest in the 57-year-old out of respect for Celtic. The Evening Standard have also stated that Spurs want Postecoglou to start work immediately after a huge summer in the transfer market, and one of his first priorities is likely to be discussions with Harry Kane, who is wanted by Real Madrid. Also in this report, it says that Daniel Levy is continuing to search for a new director of football to succeed Fabio Prasci, who resigned in April after losing an appeal against a global ban from working in football. Spurs are adamant that Harry Kane, who has a year remaining on his contract, will not be sold to a Premier League rival. So in this report, it states that Daniel Levy is continuing to search for a new director of football to succeed Fabio Prasci, who resigned in April after losing an appeal against a global ban from working in football. Now, my thoughts on these stories in this episode. Let's start by talking about Ange Postecoglou. Of course, Fabrizio Romano has stated that he will be the next Tottenham Hotspur head coach. An official announcement is expected in the next day or so. Of course, after the cup final at the weekend, Postecoglou come out in a number of interviews and said, I am going on holiday on Tuesday with my family. So I'm wondering whether a lot of things have been done during Monday, and it is just a case of Tottenham and Celtic sorting out the compensation package so everything is ready to go and Postecoglou can still go on his family holiday. But as I've said many times, certainly in the last couple of days, he certainly wasn't my first choice. I think it's fair to say that he wasn't a lot of fans' first choice. He certainly wasn't Tottenham's first choice. A lot of managers have turned us down. We didn't even call the likes of Mauricio Pochettino. Of course, we were linked with so many managers. Pochettino, Nagelsmann, Luis Enrique, Arne Slot, who of course turned us down. I think a lot of fans, and I'm certainly in the minority on this as well, expected a name that has got experience in a top European league. Not just the Premier League, but, you know, Italy, Spain, and so on, Germany. But that wasn't the case. Ange Postecoglou, though, I think is going to be a good, decent appointment for Tottenham Hotspur. I tell you what, the amount of research and the amount of documentaries I have watched on him, I am so impressed. He has won every single place where he has gone. I think probably what worries a lot of people is that he's won in countries that probably aren't recognised to be the best footballing nations. He's won in Australia, he's won in Japan, and he has won in Scotland. But he is a born winner. When you look at his record and when you look at his attitude as well, he is a born winner. He definitely wants to entertain. He says that a lot about entertaining football is so important to him. He has done a great job at Celtic. He's won 5 trophies in the last 2 years. Celtic fans are absolutely gutted to lose him. But the recommendations, the things, the great things that people have said about him. If you are doubtful about this appointment of Postecoglou, go on YouTube, check out many documentaries, check out many interviews with him, check out what other people have said about him during his career. He's 57 years old. He is very experienced. He is a very experienced head coach. He is hands-on. He doesn't take any crap from anybody, and he isn't afraid to make big decisions. And I tell you, there are so many things. He ticks a lot of boxes, and I think he is going to surprise a lot of people. Now, of course, Harry Kane's future is again in doubt. It is another summer, and it is another summer where I think everyone will be talking about Harry Kane's future. Will he be going to Manchester United? Will he be going to Real Madrid? Sergio Ramos has come out and said to Harry Kane, don't give up the chance. Don't turn down Real Madrid. It's going to be such an interesting summer for him. I think that he is going to probably take time out, give his future a lot of thought. Of course, he's got 1 year left on his Tottenham Hotspur contract. Michael Richards is now urging Harry Kane to go and leave. I think a lot of pundits, a lot of ex-players, etc., are telling Harry Kane to go and leave and go and win trophies, etc. I believe that we need Harry Kane. Of course we do. Of course we need Harry Kane. If it is going to be his last season at Tottenham next season, I just hope that it is a successful one, because I think that Harry Kane definitely deserves some kind of trophy for what he has delivered at the football club. He has always delivered for us. Of course, record goal scorer at Tottenham, record goal scorer for England. Of course, he wants that Premier League record to beat Alan Shearer. He isn't that far away. And of course, if he does want to beat that record, he will need to stay in the Premier League. He has come out recently and said, he's feeling fit and he hopes to play, in the Premier League until he's 40. With that said, it does worry me slightly, the fact that he might think, I'll go off to Real Madrid for a year or two, go and win a trophy or two, come back and then play for a different Premier League club. That'd be interesting. I really cannot call what Harry Kane is going to do, because, part of me is thinking the guy just wants to win something. He looks so frustrated. This season he has looked so frustrated so often, so annoyed. He has looked speechless sometimes after games, when it's all gone wrong under, 3 different managers for us: Conte, Stellini and Ryan Mason. So it'll be an interesting one. It'll be interesting to see what Harry Kane does. A clear out is expected at Spurs this summer. That's exactly what we need. The newspaper there named 7 players. I tell you what, I could probably name 17 players. There are so many players that need to go out the door of this football club this summer. This rebuild this summer is absolutely huge. And as I said earlier, Ange Postecoglou, he isn't afraid to make big decisions. It does surprise me, I must say, that we are about to appoint a head coach and we do not have a director of football. It does really surprise me, because it has been said so many times that Spurs wanted to appoint a director of football first before a head coach. So this does surprise me in the order we are doing things. But the clear out is definitely needed. So many players need to go out the door. Of course, lots of loan players are coming back as well, and it has been reported today as well that Ange Postecoglou may want to look at Tanguy Ndombele before offloading him this summer. I think a lot of players, the loan players, may get another chance under a new manager. That's going to be interesting. Where a lot of us fans would probably think, no, just offload them. They've had enough chances. But I think that he will give chances. He will look at training. One of the documentaries I watched, he said he took a long time before he appointed the captain at Celtic, because he just wanted to make sure that he was appointing the right player with the right attitude. So I think decision-making will be absolutely key going forward. And I think that Postecoglou needs to be involved in all of the decision-making. I've said so often, particularly last season, Antonio Conte coming out and saying about club decisions, club signings. I think the football club now need to change the way that we do things, and we need to include the manager, or head coach, should I say, not the manager. There is a big difference between a manager and a head coach. So I think the head coach does need to be heavily involved in key decisions. Players coming in, it's got to be the ones that they want, that Ange Postecoglou wants at the football club. Thanks for watching and thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're watching this on YouTube, please do hit the subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you're listening to this on an audio platform, please do hit the follow button and leave a review if you can. Enjoy the rest of your week. I'll see you on the next one. Until then, come on you Spurs.